Bullies ripped quiet girl's shirt, her spin kick sent them through the desks. It was supposed to be just another school day. The kind where she'd walk through the gates, eyes low, shoulders tight, hoping to dissolve into the background before anyone noticed her. But fate doesn't always wait for permission. That day, the storm she'd been hiding from her entire life found her in the most brutal, humiliating way. In front of a classroom of jeering teens, with cruel laughter echoing off the walls and judgmental stares slicing through her like blades, 3 girls surrounded her. One grabbed her arm. Another smirked with a sneer of poison. And then, in a flash so quick she barely processed it, the front of her shirt was ripped apart, threads snapping, buttons flying, her chest exposed to the world and her soul crushed beneath a million invisible boots of shame. For a breathless moment, time froze. But then, she moved. What happened next would leave the entire school in stunned silence, mouths open, eyes wide, and hearts forever changed. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet strength people carry deep inside, please like this video, subscribe to our channel Echoes of Life, and share this story with someone who needs to remember that even silence hides storms. And don't forget to leave a comment with your thoughts, they mean the world to us. Mina had never been the kind of girl people noticed. She wasn't popular, loud, or flashy. Her hair was plain and always tied back, her uniform perfectly ironed, her words carefully chosen if she spoke at all. She spent her lunch breaks in the farthest corner of the library, tucked between the bookshelves with her sketchpad, drawing worlds where pain didn't exist. Her parents had moved to the city just 2 years ago, and since then, school had become her quiet battlefield, one she never asked to fight in but had no choice but to endure. The girls who tormented her weren't monsters in the obvious sense. They were beautiful, admired, worshipped by their peers, and gifted with a cruel kind of charisma. Lila, the ringleader, had a laugh like a bell and a heart like a glacier. Ronnie, her shadow, echoed every insult with glee. And Alina, the silent third, was the most dangerous, because she watched and did nothing, her silence a blade sharper than any words. It started small, a shove in the hallway, a stolen pencil case, whispered rumors that followed Mina like smoke. But cruelty has a way of escalating when left unchecked, and no one ever stood up for her. The teachers saw but said little. The students stared but stayed quiet. Mina was just the quiet girl. The one no one missed when she wasn't around. The one no one expected to fight back. What no one knew was that beneath her calm, Mina carried stories darker than her silence let on. Her father, once a gentle man, had vanished after a car crash that shattered more than bones. Her mother worked double shifts and came home too tired to notice the pain behind her daughter's eyes. And one winter, when the cold crept into their bones and the bills piled higher than hope, Mina had nearly lost herself completely, until an old man in their neighborhood offered to teach her something strange. Something powerful. Something that would become her secret sanctuary. It was a form of martial arts, not the kind you see in flashy movies, but a quiet, precise art of control, balance, and movement. Master Arif was in his 70s and had long since given up on students, but when he saw Mina watching him train alone one frosted morning, something in her eyes pulled him in. She never told anyone she trained. Never showed off. Never used it. She wasn't learning to fight people. She was learning to survive herself. But pain, like pressure, builds in silence. And sometimes the dam breaks. That day, the one when they tore her shirt, began like any other. She had just finished her math test and was walking back to class when Lila intercepted her with that fake smile. They teased her about her shoes, her silence, her creepy little drawings. Ronnie pushed her shoulder. Alina laughed. Mina kept walking. But they followed. The classroom was half empty, students drifting in after lunch, when Lila made the final move. She grabbed Mina's collar and hissed something cruel. Mina turned to walk away, but then came the sound. The unmistakable rip of fabric. Cold air on skin. A gasp. A scream. Laughter. And something inside Mina shattered. What followed lasted seconds. She didn't think. Her body moved like it had always known this moment would come. She spun on her heel, ducked Ronnie's arm, and landed a roundhouse kick that sent Lila flying into a row of desks. The sound of crashing wood, shocked gasps, a scream from a boy in the front row. Ronnie lunged forward, but Mina pivoted, caught her wrist, and twisted it behind her back with a calm precision that screamed of training, not rage. Alina froze. Their eyes met, and for the first time, Mina saw fear in hers. Not of Mina, but of what they'd done. When the teacher walked in moments later, the classroom was chaos. Desks overturned. Lila on the floor, clutching her stomach. Ronnie sobbing. And Mina, calm, still, standing with her torn shirt fluttering and eyes blazing like a storm had passed through her soul and left only truth behind. She was sent to the principal's office, of course. The girls tried to lie, tried to twist the story, but too many eyes had seen the truth. For the first time, voices rose for Mina. Boys and girls who had never spoken up before told what really happened. The bullying. The humiliation. The years of torment. The silence that had crushed a girl until she'd finally cracked. The school launched an investigation. Lila was suspended, and her parents had to answer uncomfortable questions about what their daughter had been doing all year. Ronnie followed her out. Alina stopped coming altogether. Mina? She didn't return to school for a few days. But when she did, something had changed. People looked at her differently. Not with fear, not even with pity, but with respect. Quiet nods in the hallway. A girl from her class asked to sit with her in the library. A boy handed her a new sketchpad, saying he liked her art. It wasn't sudden popularity, Mina didn't want that. But it was recognition. And more importantly, it was peace. The truth is, strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers from behind downcast eyes and steady hands. Mina had never wanted to hurt anyone. But when they tore her down, she showed them what resilience really looked like. Not rage. Not revenge. But the calm, powerful decision to say, enough. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that even the quietest people carry unshakable strength, please like this video, share it with someone who needs courage, and subscribe to Echoes of Life. Your support helps us keep telling stories that matter. Every share is a voice for the unheard. And now, before the final moments, we want to hear from you. Have you ever witnessed bullying? Or overcome something quietly powerful like Mina did? Drop a comment below. Let's create a space of healing, strength, and solidarity. Your words might just be the reason someone else holds on a little longer. Mina didn't become a hero that day because she fought back. She became one because she had always been one, quietly, patiently, with every breath she took to survive in a world that tried to break her. Her strength was never in her fists. It was in her heart. And in the end, that made all the difference.